Please forgive me, all right? No thank the boss that I'm staying on. I need the money. I've got 6 kids, and many of them is money on. Did you hear the one about the Irish comedian who walked off the stage because everybody was laughing at him? It wasn't here after that last fucking joke. The Saudi Arabia supporters football song. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Irish spot the ball. Or an Irish shepherd calling his dog. Did you hear the one with the Irish tea bag? It was waterproof. Or the Irish Evel Knievel who jumped over 24 motorbikes in a double-decker bus and they were made up of some bastard rang the bell. How do you keep 10 virgins happy? Just like that. Paddy Greene, the Irish magician. Which hand's the frog in? And what's coloured blue and sleeps too? A gas board fan. Can you imagine working for the gas board in Baghdad? It must be mustard. Join the British Air Force and see the world. Join the Iraqi Air Force and see the fucking next world. And what has 6 legs and says it won't bite? A dickhead with an American pit bull terrier. But not all big dogs are bad dogs. The original Dulux dog died last year. He was 18 years of age. There was a lovely funeral, but by Jesus, what a finish. Because Mark Phillips pulled out early, the Queen Mother won't go to the wedding. Think about it, you bastard. You're slow, aren't you, Irishman? And if the Grand Old Duke of York once had 10,000 men, why shouldn't the fucking Duchess? If you want to make some money, would some of you lads take this case of sweets to Bangkok? Are there any police officers here? Right. I'm going to show you something that fell off the back of a lorry. This here is a brick, okay? That's a brick. This here is a brick. The man from Del Monte, he said yes, but Norman Del Monte, he said no, there's no recession. This is a fucking brick. In the third world, this brick is a washing machine. In and around Mexican, Halifax, this brick is a deposit for a fucking television. And what price of Turkish delight if you happen to be a Kurd? Now the British forces did not want to go to Yugoslavia. Why? Because the Americans were fucking doing the Air Corps. We a book. What do you call a spider with no legs? A current. And you know the difference between roast beef and pea soup? Anybody can roast beef. When the British weightlifting team were tested for drugs, they found some urine in their steroids. This Irish fella went to a restaurant, he paid for a meal, they brought the meal, and when nobody was looking, he sneaked out without eating it. I was with it, man, let the fucking tip for me. And what about the Irish doctor who invented a cure for which there was no known disease? And what's black and white and looks like a horse? A fucking zebra. I do apologise for the bad language, and I do apologise for the cat. It was only a joke to cheer you up, but it fucking didn't do that. I know you had a bad day. I'm sorry about that. Anyway, I do apologise. This bomber, this evil bastard, went into a pet shop in Belfast. He put a bomb on the counter. He said to the owner, "You got 5 minutes to get out. 5 minutes." There was a parrot on the counter. A parrot. The parrot looked at the bomb. Looked at the bomber. Looked at his watch. The parrot said, "What do you mean 5 minutes? Be fair, give the tortoise a chance." F.W. Clerk. F.W. Clerk. F.W. Clerk, the white fascist Prime Minister of South Africa. I don't need to get these books. I can read fucking Braille. F.W. Clerk, the white fascist Prime Minister of South Africa, told Nelson Mandela, the great black leader, that the black man would get the vote in 1992. And in 1993, another black man will get a vote. Nelson Mandela wants to know which one. 2 men in the North Atlantic on an iceberg. One said to the other, "Jesus, we're saved. Here comes the Titanic." This fella called Seamus got a job in the North Sea as a deep sea diver. This fella North Sea, called Seamus, got a job in the North Sea as a deep sea diver. One day the captain of the ship rang him up. He said, "Seamus, you better come up. We're sinking." Just remember, there's always somebody worse off than you. I can't think of who it is. There must be somebody. There's one thing money can't buy, and that's poverty. Very, very sorry about that. Okay, very, very sorry. At a school in Turkey, during a biology class, the teacher said to the little Turks, "Where would you find your kidneys?" And this little boy said, "In London." And the surgeon who did them operations has been stroked off the medical register. He wants to get back on again, but it will cost him an arm and a leg. I'd like to wish you all a very Merry Christmas. Charlton Heston, the famous American actor, played the part of Moses. Charlton Heston, the famous American actor, played the part of Moses. Every night he'd come off the set, go into his dressing room, take his toupee off, put it on the table, wave his hand over it, and it would part itself. This fella said, "Thank God I'm an atheist." And his mate said, "I'd give my right arm to be ambidextrous." At the Last Supper, which this day in Halifax so much fucking reminds me of. Come on, lads, it isn't the end of the world. At the Last Supper, the waiter had the bill. There was 12 men on a night out. One of them kept asking for pails of water and he was turning it into wine, but the steward kept charging him. The waiter could wait no longer and he went to the top table table and he gave the bill to a fisherman from Fleetwood called Peter. Now Peter wasn't materialistic, so he gave the bill to his brother called John. John had so much wine on him, he went to the toilet. Everybody waited for John to come back. The bill was on the table. The bill was on the table and John was going to the toilet. As they waited, they sang the old Yiddish songs. They were 80 Palestinians sitting on the ball. 80 Palestinians. Gone that long that they named the place he went to the John. When John came back, he gave the bill to a fellow called Luke. Luke was on the committee. He looked at the bill. He couldn't understand. He gave the bill to a fellow called Mark. Mark was the treasurer. He marked the bill. I owe you lads a lot of brass. I've been a German called Mark. Sterling's now. He gave the bill to a fellow called Luke. Luke just looked at the bill. He gave the bill to a fellow called Thomas. Thomas, oh my God, if this is right. Most of I got out of the last one. Anyway, the bill went right down the table. The bill went right down the table to the last man who was standing on the table, pissed his around. His name was Judas Iscariot, better known around Sheffield as Ron Atkinson. Judas looked at the bill, looked all around him, and everybody had pissed off home, except David Egg. He was doing press-ups in the corner. Judas said, she's gone. Judas looked at the bill, looked all around him, and said, Jesus Christ. Where the hell am I going to get 30 pieces of silver? Sorry I did that fucking joke all that time. This fellow was at Blackpool Zoo beside Jumbo, the dead elephant's cage, and he was crying. He was going, Jesus Christ, Jumbo's dead. Another man said to him, was Jumbo your favourite? He said, no, you pillock, I've got to bury him. The magistrate said to this little boy, why did you kill both your parents? And this little boy said, I just wanted to go to the orphans' party. Father Christmas went to see the psychiatrist. And he said, I don't believe myself. And there's loads of books here on my subject, psychiatry. There's a book here by Abraham Lincoln. Mrs. Lincoln was asked, but besides that, Mrs. Lincoln, what do you think of the play? Look, you fucking booked me, I didn't want to come. And I do apologize for the language, it's atrocious sometimes. And I do forgive, please forgive me. I don't make a piss of anybody, honest to God. I'm a Yorkshire lad myself, you can tell by the accent.